This is Eden from HelixxVR. Today I'll be reviewing Witching Tower Heroes. This is an action game where you fight hordes of undead and horror-themed enemies. I played on the Valve Index, but it's listed as compatible with Vive, Oculus Rift, and Windows Mixed Reality. I'll start this by saying that this game is early access. Certain things may, and hopefully will, change by the time that you watch this review. Witching Tower Heroes feels like a co-op game where they forgot to put in the co-op. Being early access, I imagine that they just brought it out before adding it in. There is a coming soon sign for it. Maybe they needed the income to continue developing, or they wanted to get feedback. The problem is it's designed for co-op, and that's where the fun is. I'll tell you a bit about the game first. You can play 3 different levels, each with different objectives to achieve, while monsters attack you. You've got level 1. You break certain points to unlock the objective and then you break that. You've got level 2. You break coffins which spawn to complete waves. And you've got level 3. Defend an obelisk from waves of enemies. Each of those would be more fun with friends, but they're fine on their own. They even come with 3 different difficulties. This is good since easy can really be too easy at times. I managed to get 5th on the leaderboard on the first level just by attacking points and ignoring enemies. Even the nightmare difficulty on the first level was pretty easy. While you play these levels, you can choose between 4 sets of weapons. The good points: there are a good variety of weapons, and you can even switch in the middle of battle. The bad points: everything else. 2 of the 4 sets, the sword shield combo and the wand orb combo, includes a feature to heal allies. Allies which don't yet exist because of the lack of multiplayer. The wand cannot seem to be held naturally either. It points towards the sky, so you have to hold your wrist at an uncomfortable angle to make it work. The sword lets you wiggle it randomly and do damage. The shield did have an interesting mechanic to push back enemies occasionally. I didn't have much of an issue with the bow, but there wasn't anything great about it. There was one set I kind of liked: a spiral drill and a blasting pistol. The drill attacks nearby enemies that you hit with it while it's going, but it has a cooldown function which happens way too often. The blasting pistol has almost no range, but apart from that it's okay. Weapons never really felt like they had any weight to them either. Between the wiggle damage, the sounds used, and the lack of knockback, they just don't feel that good to use. On a more positive note, you can choose between smooth locomotion and teleporting. Looking at the graphics, I do like the style they've used. It's all consistent, it's on theme, and it looks good in VR. The sound is barely existent at times, so I do feel that needs improvement there. While I have mentioned a number of issues, one positive is the cost. Comes in at around $8, €7, or £6. It's pretty cheap. Witching Tower Heroes feels like it could be a somewhat fun game. It needs improvements in the combat. It needs more game types. But more importantly, it needs to implement the co-op. As it stands, I'd certainly not recommend it. With co-op, I'd still not outright recommend it, but say it might be fun to play with a few friends if you pick it up on sale. This is Ian from HelixxVR. As always, if you'd like to see more content like this, please remember to like and subscribe.